I thought it was a great performance. You know, I thought I did what I wanted in the ring. I thought I picked it up when I wanted to. I thought I banged when I wanted to, boxed real well. I don't take nothing from it.
You have power, you carry what? Pacquiao? We forget about a guy like that. He used to be a jockey. And what did he do? He carried his power and he carried his speed, obviously, as the smaller man. Crawford carries his speed, he carries his power. And the most important thing is what's inside of Crawford. He's a special guy. He doesn't believe you can beat him. And it's hard to beat a guy who doesn't believe you can beat him.
I still would be running myself in the dirt because I always felt like if I put more days in work, then I got just as much.
Did Terence "Bud" Crawford, fresh off what might be the greatest victory of his career against Canelo Alvarez, actually hint at a shocking retirement? Just moments after securing a legacy-defining win, a series of messages and subtle clues began to surface. Standing at the absolute peak of his career, Crawford has stunned the boxing world with signs that he may walk away. With nothing left to prove, he's already shown he's the true king, dismantling a legend in a performance that will be remembered for ages.
But that ninth round came, you got into your stance, you got lost. Oh, he finna try to bang with him. And you had those exchanges. And did that just happen, or you knew when that bell rang, that ninth round, I'm finna try to see, I'm finna test him?
No, I just knew just to pick it up because, you know, it was getting close to the championship rounds. And I just wanted to make sure that, you know, I set a tone that I was in charge.
He made a big mistake at the end of that round, though.
Yeah.
He reached out and acknowledged that he shook his head and...
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
Yeah, that's a big mistake.
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
And he really made the first mistake at the weigh-in.
Yeah.
People don't understand. Like, that don't mean everything. That don't mean that Terence is gonna win the fight or whoever gonna win the fight. But when you break that steer, it wasn't just him breaking the steer first. He reached his hand out to you at the weigh-in. I said, ooh-wee. Then he did it again in the ninth round. When he did it in the ninth round, I said, yeah, this fight, it ain't over, but it's over. He got his respect, and that's really what he came here to get. You seen him do that, right?
Yeah. I walked away.
Yeah.
I walked off.
Yeah. What was you thinking when you seen that concession?
I'm like, man, we ain't touching no hands.
But did you think like, oh, I got him?
No, I didn't think nothing. I already knew I had him. I felt like I was winning all the rounds except, you know what I mean, one. I felt like he could have got the, you know what I mean, what was it, the fifth round? You know what I mean? But all the other rounds, I'm like, I'm in control.
Crawford now appears poised to make the ultimate power move, stepping away from the sport as its undefeated king. Was his historic win the perfect mic drop moment? Or is there still another chapter left in one of boxing's greatest careers? September 13th, 2025 was meant for one purpose: to solidify a legacy. The stakes were enormous. A single loss, especially a devastating one, could have stained an otherwise flawless record. But Crawford didn't just win, he dominated. With masterful skill, speed, and power, he outclassed the very face of boxing, securing a victory that will echo through the sport's history.
A fight where Crawford made it where Canelo, to have any chance, he had to go get close. So he had to go through a bad neighborhood.
Yep.
And Crawford mugged him. It's that simple. He had to go through a bad neighborhood to get anything done, to get to the place that something was going to be done good.
Yeah.
And he got mugged going through that neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Well, if I think about it, if I do come back, can you train me?
We're not even,
Please. I'm asking you right now if I do.
Do they have commercials on this thing? You guys got commercials?
Fellow boxer Blair Cobbs later said he believed Canelo was hurt multiple times and could have been knocked out in the final rounds, a testament to the sheer dominance of Crawford's performance. With that victory, Crawford achieved something unprecedented, becoming the first male boxer of the modern four-belt era to unify titles in 3 different weight classes. He had climbed a peak so high, so decisive, that it erased any remaining doubt about his greatness. Even before the first bell rang against Canelo, a quiet question hovered over his future. In a May 27th interview with Sporting News Australia, a reporter asked whether this super fight might be the last of his career. Crawford, wearing a smile that revealed everything and nothing at the same time, delivered a 5-word answer that sent shockwaves through the boxing world. Who knows? We shall see.
Not looking past this fight, and you take things one step at a time, but is there a chance that this is your last fight?
Who knows? We shall.
At the time, His response was easy to brush off as a fighter simply staying focused on the moment. But looking back, it was the first real hint that retirement wasn't some distant idea, it was a genuine possibility. Crawford had already begun thinking about an exit strategy, and the Canelo fight stood as the ultimate crossroads. A victory would be the crowning achievement, the perfect final chapter, and once the dust settled and the belts were in hand, those whispers only grew louder. Right after the fight, with the world watching live on Netflix, Max Kellerman asked the question on everyone's mind: had fans just witnessed the last fight of his career? Crawford, still catching his breath after a grueling 12 rounds, stayed completely non-committal. "Like I said before, I don't know," he replied. "I've got to sit down with my team, and we're going to talk about it." There was no firm no confident promise of a return. In the boxing world, where fighters usually plan their next few fights in advance, this kind of ambiguity spoke volumes. Crawford wasn't dodging the question. He was intentionally leaving the door wide open. For a man who had just proven he was the best in the world, his silence about the future was telling. It was a calculated pause, one that fueled speculation and made fans wonder whether the greatest performance of his career might also have been his last.
What are we boxing for at this point? What else is there to do? There's always going to be a YouTuber or a reporter or somebody conjuring up another challenge. We box to get ourselves in a better financial position, to build a name and a legacy. Those boxes are checked. What else are we doing? Why are we still in the game?
Just a couple of weeks later, on September 30th, Crawford sat down with the great Andre Ward on the All the Smoke Fight podcast. When Ward pressed him about his future, Crawford revealed a crucial piece of the puzzle. "I'm just chilling, man," he began. "I haven't even had the time to sit down with my team, but I talked with my family, and I know what my family wants."
Work, yeah. But then when you get to that point where you know, like, oh, I can take a rest day because, let my muscles, recover so I can get more out of it. In this fight, I ain't gonna get tired. I've been here before. I put the work in. That was always my fear, is being in a fight and getting tired to where I couldn't perform.
He never directly revealed what his family wanted, but the implication hung in the air. Reading between the lines, it seemed that those closest to him, the people who had witnessed every sacrifice, every grueling camp, every moment of physical and mental strain, might be ready for him to hang up the gloves. A fighter's life carries immense pressure and an unforgiving physical toll, not only on the athlete, but on everyone around them. For his family, watching him reach the absolute summit of the sport, financially secure, historically accomplished, and still healthy, this moment may have felt like the perfect time to step away.
Crawford know when it's time to hang it up.
When I want to. I'm going to retire from boxing before I let boxing retire me. I always said that I'm going to retire on my own terms, and I'm going to feel good because everything that I did it my way. Whether it took me however many years to get to the point where I'm at, I did it my way. A lot of people can't say that. A lot of people can criticize me and say, oh, well, he re-signed with Top Rank and he's this, he's that. But at the time, that was the best move for me in my career. You feel me?
As a modern champion who famously left the sport undefeated, Ward approached the conversation with a perspective few could offer. He spoke about the rare privilege of walking away with both an unblemished record and lasting health, a luxury only a handful of legends have ever enjoyed. Ward didn't tell Crawford what to do, but his questions carried the weight of his own monumental decision. Every word nudged Crawford to look beyond titles and accolades, and to consider what truly matters when the gloves finally come off.
In the end,
was it important to you to retire unbeaten?
Oh yeah, man, listen. I can be a sore winner and a sore loser. Like, I'm that competitive. Like, I don't like to lose at anything. If I had a loss on my record right now, I probably think about it daily. Probably something I have to work through daily. Like, man, if I'd have just So I'm glad I got that.
Gotta rank him probably in your top 10, maybe even your top 5.
where do you rank Terence in your opinion?
I put him in the top 15, maybe the top 10. because he definitely had the skill of a top 5. Just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get. And that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody. That's pretty damn good. Now he proved what we already thought. We just didn't see him against the best opposition near his weight class. See, this is the thing people don't understand. This is what I like about Bud. He reminds me of Roy. We ain't got to have the best opposition in our weight class. We want the best opposition near our weight class.
There's been discussion that maybe, you know, Crawford and Inoue are going back and forth tussling for like pound for pound, that maybe Inoue because of the multiple weight divisions. You're shaking your head no. Tell me why no.
Because Inoue also, when he first moved up, he lost to Donnell. Don't forget that. Bud ain't lost to nobody. Moving up or down, he moved up 3 times. He lost to nobody. Don't tell me he better than Bud.
While his family's wishes held significant influence, the boxing world was deeply split. The argument for retirement was straightforward: perfection, an unblemished 42-20 record, and a legacy that needed no further enhancement. Voices like Roy Jones Jr. were among the earliest and most outspoken, urging Crawford to step away at the peak and avoid risking a flawless record.
What should both guys do next? I mean, Canelo probably got to go back and decide what he wants to do. But if I were Bud, I would just retire. Terence is very special. He definitely goes in the top 10, maybe even the top 5 of the best pound for pound ever.
Do you think, is there anything more for him now, would you say?
Nothing else left for him. That was it. He can call it a day now if he wants to.
Even former opponents like Sean Porter, who had faced Crawford and understood his greatness firsthand, echoed the sentiment, insisting he had nothing left to prove.
I get to know these fighters and I get to understand who they are, where they come from, and what makes them who they are both in and out of the ring. And that's why I respect a lot of the guys. I didn't say all of that, but I said, you know, I did say that I respect it. Like I said, you would think that the way my fight ended with Terence, that I would have animosity towards him or that I would dislike him. I said, I know who he is. And so beyond what we did in the ring, I got nothing but respect for this man.
Legendary trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas cautioned against the classic trap of a fighter staying in the game one fight too many, urging Crawford to safeguard his perfect finale. Even Blair Cobbs, who ranks Crawford as the second greatest fighter of all time behind only Muhammad Ali, insisted he should retire while he's still on top. Having spoken with Crawford multiple times, Cobb's perspective adds a personal and deeply respectful voice to the chorus, celebrating a champion who earned every step of his hard-fought journey.
Crawford, all I see is that the best thing for him to do now is to retire. No, I don't think that he'll fight again. I know Crawford. I've spoke to him numerous times. I've called him out numerous times. I even said, yo, man, you might as well just come with me, man. Train me then, motherfucker. You know what I mean? God damn. Like, come on. You know what I mean?
So you giving a call out to Bomac. You want to go to that team?
Well, I like for somebody like me, I would appreciate somebody like Crawford when it comes to his mentorship.
Yeah.
You know, his mentorship. Because to tell you the truth, there's a lot of things that I'm going through in boxing that he's going through. Maybe not on the level of me.
Yeah.
But he's gone through a lot of that stuff. There's been a lot of doors that shut in his face, even though he was great, even though he proven himself many times over. There's many doors that shut in his face, and delays over the top of delays for the Earl Spence fight. There was all kinds of things that happened with Crawford. You know, is reason why like I respect him probably more than most people and most fighters. He didn't get the easy.
Predictions abounded, with fellow champion Stephen Fulton stating before the fight that if Crawford won, retirement was likely. On the other hand, the undeniable lure of money and further glory beckoned. A rematch with Canelo promised another 9-figure payday, and new challenges awaited at middleweight. The debate raged on: preserve the perfect legacy or risk it all for even greater fortune.
Don't play with my boy. It's over with. It's over with. I told the whole world, pay me. Suckers. Retire, bud. Retire, bud. It's over. You ain't got nothing else to prove. Let's go fishing, bud. Let's go fishing, bud. Retire. Yeah. It's over with. I won.
Adding to the debate were voices with unique insight. Crawford's friend and former opponent, Timothy Bradley Jr., spoke from first-hand experience, suggesting that after a victory of this magnitude, there was no reason to jeopardize a perfect legacy and every reason to walk away on his own terms.
I beat this guy. It's his excuse. I beat this guy. You know, he's too young or whatever. So I'm never really going to give my full respect until afterwards. Yes, you know, it's a lot of people that's changing their narrative. Like, man, y'all watching something great right now, and we not appreciating it. And it's sad to say that we waking up at the tail end of his career. You know, we really didn't realize it until now when he's like doing extraordinary stuff, like going up 2 weight classes to fight the best fighter in that division, the #1 guy that's the face of boxing, you know. And the way that I handled that, people like, oh man, something had to be wrong. Canelo had to be washed, or Canelo just wasn't in it. And I see people saying, oh, Turkey paid for Canelo to lose, you know. So I just think, you know, when you that much better than the competition, you know, people not going to give you credit until they sit down and look at it and just be like, man, that dude was good.
Offering a contrasting perspective was the legendary Bernard Hopkins, renowned for his remarkable longevity and business savvy. Hopkins argued the opposite, with Crawford's fame at its peak. Now was the time to cash in on a few more massive paydays, reminding that such opportunities rarely last forever.
Mac, you've been training Crawford for years. Is he retired or is he going to keep fighting?
He just got to take a break.
Is Terence Crawford retired or is he going to keep fighting?
Oh, he's going to keep fighting.
He's going to keep fighting?
Yeah.
You're the man. Be man. Hey, congratulations. Enjoy the win.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For Crawford, the retirement conversation goes far beyond his own career. For years, he has been a vocal advocate for the welfare of boxers after they leave the sport. In past interviews, he has passionately called for pensions, for 101Ks, a fighters' union, and comprehensive health insurance to support athletes whose bodies have been worn down by the sweet science. His potential retirement isn't merely a personal decision, it's tied to his vision for a better future for all fighters. He understands the tragic pattern of boxers leaving the sport with nothing, and his careful consideration of his own exit reflects a desire to set a different example. This broader perspective adds another layer of complexity to his choice, showing it's about more than money or fame, it's about principle.
For him to be this far along in all these years, I think that he's #1.
He's been non-committal about his future. Do you think we ever see him fight again?
I don't want to see him fight no more.
Oh, really?
In my opinion.
Really?
Nah, I don't. I think that it's just a lot. It's a lot. Like them training camps, that wear and tear on your body, and me being his brother, like I really got like endless love for this guy. I don't want to see it. I think he did everything that in the sport that he could do. I think there's nothing else that can be done. He made one of the best fighters of our generation look average. And I think that's a huge accomplishment, and I think it's time to retire on the high horse.
Do you think he retires?
Knowing Bud, it's hard to say. Bud is crazy. I mean, I already know like what he can do in the boxing ring is different, and training camps, the hard work that he put in that comes together on fight night. He can go and do different things, and he don't have to retire. But for me, I would win.
So, what does all of this mean for one of boxing's greatest warriors? The answer remains a mystery, a puzzle woven from cryptic remarks, family wishes, and a legacy that needs no further proof. Conflicting signals and immense pressure have created a moment of pure suspense. Only Crawford knows his true intentions. Whether he chooses to retire as an undefeated, undisputed legend or pursue one final lucrative challenge, Terence "Bud" Crawford has already redefined what's possible in the ring. The question isn't whether he's a legend, but how his legendary story will ultimately conclude.
Not fight again, you'd be undefeated at 42-0. Would that satisfy you?
If that was the decision that I made, my team made, for me to walk away, away from the sport, then of course I'll be, content and happy because that's the decision that I made. I'm not gonna make something, that I'm not comfortable with. I had a great career. I've done some tremendous things in the sport of boxing. I made a lot of history.
You know, what can I not be proud of if I walked away from the sport right now? You know, I don't have no regrets because everything that I did it my way. So if I was to walk away from the sport right now, I wouldn't have no reason to hold my head down.
So, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss our upcoming content. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.